Hey, this your boy Jay Ray back with another video, back with another live stream, and today is Tech Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Tech Tuesday. And today I kind of want to do a live interview or a live review. I'm sorry, not interview, but a live review of some of the tech that I use day to day. As you can see, I got just a few items here that I would like to kind of go over and let you guys know how it's been going on, how it's been working in my day-to-day life. Phone Tech, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining. But like I said, here are just a few items that I use day to day. Some of them I use every day. Some of them I use every once in a while. And if you guys are wondering what I'm using to film this with, I'm using the iPhone 8 Plus. So let me know if the audio and video quality is coming out okay. It looks really good on my end. So anyways, let's get into this. Now, as you can see, I got a wallet right here. Hey, KB, how are you doing? I got a slim wallet right here. I got the Apple AirPods right here. And I have the Chiotech wireless charger that will work with Android and iOS phones, iOS 8. And I have, for all you guys with a headphone jack, let me get these untangled so that way you can kind of see them a little bit better. But for all you guys, and these headphones right here, I've always been buying these. I've always been buying these headphones for a while, but these are the skull candies, just the regular skull candies. Like I said, you can pick these up normally on sale for about $20 or less at Target. These also come with the inline microphone that is built into it, which it's also got the flat ribbon design, as you can tell. The sound quality on these for $20 is not bad. Of course, they're in-ear. Not bad at all. And I also like the color of them. The color of them is really good. The mic is really clear, really easy to use, of course. You know, you got your clicks on there. And overall, just really good. Like I said, these are really good for when you have a phone that does not have a headphone jack. The sound quality on these, like I said, they're not the greatest. They're not like any Sennheisers or Beats or anything like that. But they are really good. Sound quality is decent for the price that you pay for them, and they really last a really good amount of time. So these are very durable. I was wearing these at work. I use them for gaming. And that's the thing about it. If you do game on PS4 or Xbox, you have the 35 millimeter headphone jack that will plug in on the PS4. It will plug in to there and you can use it along with the built-in mic. So if you need a pair of headsets for your gaming needs, and you don't really have a whole bunch of money to spend, you can always do these. But like I said, Skull Candy, I really do like them for the price that you pay for them, and they're really not a bad buy at all. If you're just needing something in a pinch, or if you just don't want to spend a whole lot of money, and with the built-in line microphone, it's not a bad price at all. Not a bad price. Now, let me put these to the side. And I want to get into something else that a really good friend of mine, Phone Tech at work, turned me on to. Me and Phone Tech were in the same chat, and I was telling the guys in the chat that, you know what, with Apple Pay, with me being able to use Apple Pay at a lot of different places, with me being able to not really have to worry about pulling out my card a whole lot, I was tired of carrying around a really bulky wallet, And one of the things that you guys will realize is when I do a review, I end up using the products for a while. That way I can really see how the durability is, how it holds up, how I like it, how the functionality is. And this here is the Artino Top Collection. You can find these on Amazon.com. And overall, thanks to PhoneTech for turning me on to this. He did a giveaway, and I was blessed enough to be able to get a wallet, and I thank him so much for that. This has the RFID protection built into it, as you can see. Now, the leather is a little scuffed up on mine, but that's because I put it in the same pocket as I put my keys. It's got RFID on both sides. It also has RFID on the inside, on either side of the pocket. And this is where I keep my money. Of course, it's not got any in it because, you know, my wife, the boss of the house, keeps my money and her money, and it's all her money. But the feel of this, the quality of it is very, very good. The wear and tear has been really, really good. Excellent so far. Like I said, there's a little bit of stitching that is kind of frayed right there, but that's all right. I mean, for normal wear and tear. The other thing I will say is I wish they made the pockets to where it's just a little bit easier to get your debit cards in and out. But other than that, it's excellent, excellent, excellent. This is one of my favorite wallets that I think I've ever used. This is by far, as you can tell, it's super, super thin. It's not bulky, which is what I was looking for. Your cards are easily accessible right here and right here. On this side now, you can put other identification. On this, I have my fishing license in here, and I normally have like my driver's license in here. And this is where I keep my cash, and it will hold quite a good amount of cash. But like I said, if you're looking for a really, really good wallet, this is, and a slim wallet at that. If you need a really good slim wallet, this is it. I keep this in my front pocket. And it works great. I don't have to worry about the cards bending or getting bent. I'm free to walk around, free to roam, free to do whatever I want to do without having to worry about it pinching or bothering me. Again, that is the Top Collection by Artino. You can find them on youtube.com. And if you would like to check out another really good review on this, PhoneTech at Work, you can catch him at youtube.com. /PhoneTech at Work. He does a really good review and actually introduced me to this company and to this wallet, and I just want to give a shout out to him. Now, the next thing that I've been using for my everyday day-to-day tech is the Chotec wireless charging. Now, this is a really thin wireless charger. It has 3 coils on it. It's got the rubber stoppers right here, as you can see. You can also find this on Amazon for about $20. So it's really, really nice. Now, what I like about this is I have a I got a Motorola Nexus 6. Okay, you know the charger is a micro USB, which if you look right here, that is a micro USB. So if you have a fast charger or any kind of USB charger, you can just plug it into this. Now, the thing about this is it puts out about 5 watts, which is going to basically, it's going to slow charge your phone, but it's great for when your phone is just sitting on your nightstand. It has a LED indication button. Hey, Forbes Tech, thank you so much for joining. It has a LED notification right here that when your phone is sitting on it, it does light up blue. All in all, I'm very happy with this charger, with this 3-coil charger. It does get a little warm, but nothing to get you alarmed about. Like I said, in size comparison here, we'll take this. In size comparison, these are the AirPods, and you can just see how thin this charging pad is. Like I said, very, very, very good. Very good. And here's the brand. If you're looking for it on Amazon, here's the brand right here. Again, very nice, very nice. model number T513. It's inductive wireless charging. And like I said, for less than $20, it does really, really good, and it's standard cheese. So it's not like it's anything that it's not going to work with any of your charging accessories, which it will. The next thing that I've been using, I bought these on launch. You can go on my channel and you can check that I did a 30-day review of them after launch. And so this is something that is also everyday tech. Now, I have dropped this case at work on pavement, on concrete several times, and it's scuffed up pretty good. Really can't see it here. It's kind of, there's a little scuff up right there, but the light's in the way. But as you can see, there's from being in my jeans and stuff. But it charges really, really good. There you go. There's the indicator light. And from it being in my pocket, it does collect dirt. It does get dirty. I try to wipe it down and it just don't seem to do any good. I really want to get a wireless charging case for it. But besides that, if you're looking for a great set of wireless earbuds to use with the Apple iPhone, whether you have an old one or a new one, these are really, really great. Now, what you're going to get with these when you use it with the iPhone, you're going to be able to get Siri by double tapping on left or right. Now, you can change the settings in iOS to where you can have it to where when you tap on the left ear, that pulls up Siri. And when you tap on the right ear, that will play and pause your music. So you can do that, which is really, really functional for people who are looking for that type of functionality. But for me, I just have both of them set to Siri because I use Siri a lot. A lot of people don't like Siri, but what I like is that when you put these in your ear, the sound quality is not bad at all. When you put these in your ear and you double tap, if there's any notifications on your phone, whether it be a message, whether it be email, whether it be a news alert or whatever, you can ask Siri to read you your notifications. You don't have to take your phone out. Siri will read every notification that you have straight to you. Now, that being said, with the earbuds with a built-in microphone, you can hold down on the microphone, access Siri, and Siri will do the same thing. But what I like about these is the fact that these are 5 hours. Both of them will last 5 hours through use. So you can use one during the first day of work, which is what a lot of people do. Put it in here to charge, then pull the other one out and use it to finish out the rest of your day. So 5 hours of life on a single charge, and the case itself holds 24 hours of battery life, which is again really, really good. I really enjoy it. It's just something, and of course it uses a lightning cable to charge it, to plug it up. The next addition I'll get is the wireless charging case to use with these. And for me, $160 is not bad for these, considering all the use and the life that I get out of them. Now, I know Samsung had a sale on the Samsung Galaxy Gear Icon X's for $50 for the original ones, and they got new ones too that you can use. Now, that being said, the functionality that I get out of all these products is really, really good. I enjoy each and every one of these products. I think for the money, you can't beat it as far as price goes. You know, for essentially about $20 for the wallet, $160 for the earphones, $20 for this, and oh, sorry about that, I bumped my camera. And then $20 for these earbuds here. For me personally, if you're not wanting, if you can't afford to get $160 earbuds like these, go with the $20 ear skull candies. You can't go wrong with that. They're gonna give you some really good sound quality. They do come with different size ear tips in them. Also for $20, you're getting the Chowtech wireless charging. So basically for $40, you got a wireless charger for your phone and earbuds. Um, Now, the thing is that if you're using an iPhone 8, iPhone 7, you're going to have to use the dongle. But that being said, you're still getting some decent quality earbuds and a charger for around $40. And if you're tired of the really, really bulky wallets, I know I used to carry around a bulky wallet all the time, and I was just like, I need a new one. And that's what the guys recommended to me. And I was fortunate enough to be able to win one of these, be able to get one of these, and it's been a real good wallet so far. So let me straighten this camera up. There we go. So as today, like I said, those are just a few products that I wanted to show you guys that I've used each and every day that have been really, really beneficial to me. That have just helped me out in my day-to-day tech. Now, let's get into some tech news, because I know that's what a lot of you guys came for, that y'all wanted to see, that y'all want to talk about. So, Google's announcing their Google Pixel 2 tomorrow. The design is kind of the same old design that we're used to on the first Pixel. Maybe a little bit different. There's a few things that have changed so far from what we've heard. We got wireless charging. I'm sorry. We got dual speakers. I'm thinking of the iPhone 8. We got dual speakers on it. Of course, it's running pure Android. It's coming with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 836 processor, I do believe. Now, and I was really hoping it'd come with wireless charging. It comes with fast charging. I'm pretty sure it's going to have, rumors are that it's going to have the squeeze feature. So if it comes with dual speaker, and here's something that kind of chaps my hide about Google, is that they had dual speakers with the Nexus 6. Google Pixel come out and they did away with it. They put the speaker on the bottom. Then Google sent out a thing saying, "Hey, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do to make the Pixel even better?" Now, even though the Pixel had a really, really great camera on it, and I'm pretty sure the Pixel 2 is going to also have an excellent, excellent camera, it's to where now, I see that the Nexus 6 had wireless charging. The Nexus 6 had dual front-facing speakers. They did away with it with the 5X, and with the 6P, they chose to go with fast charging. And now they're coming out with the Google Pixel 2, and rumor is it's not going to have wireless charging, but it is going to have dual speakers. And it's kind of like, why did you get rid of those features in the first place? Apple comes out with wireless charging, and as we all know, since Apple's come out with it, it's really going to be mainstream. So Google, I feel like Google should have kept those features. But that being said, with Google coming out with an Android Oreo, it should be a hit. It's going to be getting software upgrades for up to 3 years, which is really, really great. But I still miss some of those features that I think of Google as being a flagship kind of company. When I think about Google, I always think about the Nexus devices and how Google was able to have the bleeding edge of technology on their Nexus devices, and then Apple would come out with it and improve on parts and stuff here and there. But like I said, tomorrow when the Google Pixel comes out, we're going to be able to see how much it's going to cost. We're going to be able to get a full rundown of the hardware. We're going to be able to see exactly what it is Google's offering this go around. Is it going to be revolutionary? Is it going to be extraordinary? or is it just going to be kind of like, kind of like with the iPhone 8? The iPhone 8 is kind of, it's the front of it is the same old design. The back of it, is just glass. And I would not have even upgraded this year had ours not broke. But that being said, it is very fast. The photo features of it are really, really good, which I really, really enjoy using. And is this something that we're going to be seeing from other manufacturers to where it's kind of like a Me Too upgrade, where every series is having their S series? Speaking of S series, Samsung's obviously working on the Galaxy S9. Now, whether or not it's going to look like the S8, I'm kind of unsure about. I would think since Apple's doing the louder dual speakers, I'm pretty sure Samsung will probably put that in theirs. Of course, we're going to get an update to the Samsung Experience software that they have on there. And Samsung is really tightening it up on their ecosystem. They're getting really good with their ecosystem as far as everything working together and everything functioning together. Google's Android system, I really can't say that Google's ecosystem is really tightening up because I don't see Android Wear is really moving. Android Wear really hasn't moved a whole lot. There hasn't really been any Android Wear watches. And if there has been some Android Wear watches, they have not been supported. The updates have kind of been hit or miss on those. So it's one of those things that I'm hoping that when Google announces the Pixel, that they're also going to announce new watch hardware, new Android Wear, stuff like that. Now, as far as Samsung goes, Samsung with the S9, of course, we're going to get the Gear S4. What all could Samsung do to improve their phones? Now, of course, moving the fingerprint sensor from where it's at to a place that's more accessible, or trying to put the fingerprint under the display to beat Apple to the point is obviously things that I honestly see Samsung trying to do. Having dual speaker systems, I see Samsung putting on their phone. Of course, having upgrades to their cameras, front camera, back camera, new facial scanning features since Apple came out with it. Samsung's not going to be outdone, which of course is there it is, which of course is come to be expected. LG V30. I don't know what to think about the LG V30. I feel like LG kind of shoots themselves in the own foot in the fact that LG has a great phone, the G6. It had everything. If you didn't like Samsung, but you wanted all the Samsung features, then the LG G6 was the way to go. And had a lot of features that a lot of people have been asking for. Expandable storage. I believe it had wireless charging, nice speaker, great camera, great DAC. Hey, Jason, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. But LG just essentially shoots herself in the foot. Now, the other thing that's coming up, along with the Google Pixel announcement, is we also have the iPhone X coming out. And I'm kind of wondering what that launch is going to be like. If it's going to sell a whole lot, if it's going to sell well. That's one of the things. That's one of the things about the iPhone X. Number one, it costs $1,000, but a lot of people say, "Well, I only upgrade, every 2 years, every 3 years." So if you space $1,000 out over 2 and 3 years, that's something I can handle. Just only $20, $30 a month, and I'll have it paid for. And I mean, that's great. That's great. If you can do that, go for it. But I'm really anxious to see what the sales are going to look like for the iPhone X, and I also want to see the reviews for the iPhone X because it is a new user interface. Yes, it's still iOS, but the way you control it is gesture-based compared to touching the home button or anything like that. And plus the Face Unlock. How good is the Face Unlock going to be in everyday use? for that. So that's something. Those are some interesting things that I really want to see out of the iPhone X coming up. And plus, how does the camera? How does everything compete with all the other phones out there? That's something that I think is I'm kind of excited about. You know, seeing new hardware. No, and not just new hardware from Apple as far as iPhone 10 is concerned, but new hardware from Google. You know, and this is, man, it's so hard for me to articulate. You know, because like Google, I want Google to do things that I like. You know, I want Google to do things that makes me want to go to the Pixel. Like the photos is great. Allowing people to have unlimited storage on your Google Photos. Uh, for those who own the Pixel, that is awesome. That is great. I think that's a great marketing ploy. Um, but I still get upset because I wish Google had dual speakers, good quality dual speakers on their phone. I wish Google had wireless charging on their flagship phone. I wish Google would support their phone longer than 3 years. If Google would support their phone for up to 5 years or even 6 years, just on the Pixel series, and it running stock Android, that'd be great. I would really appreciate that. Um, I don't like the fact that Google's going to have the HTC squeeze feature on there. Um, it's not something that I I really want to see. I'd like to see Google work more on developing Google Assistant and developing the interactions that you can do with Google Assistant as far as voice and being able to pick up on accents. Because there's a lot of that come to my channel, and guys, thank you for coming to my channel. If you haven't already, hit that like button, pound that subscribe button. It helps me to grow as a YouTuber. But that being said, shameless plug, I'm sorry. But that being said, for those that view my channel, that know my channel, I have a heavy Southern accent. So what happens is if I'm trying to talk to Google, Google has a hard time understanding what I said. Siri will do it every now and then, but not near as bad as Google does. The other thing that I want to see out of Google Assistant is the same thing that Siri can do. Like Siri sounds like she's more relatable, if that makes sense. Like I can ask Siri certain questions, and Siri will give me exactly what I want to hear or exactly what I want to know. You know, where Google is about, okay, here's this chart, or here's all the information that I pulled up on this, or Google will give me facts, which is great. But Siri kind of feels like more of a one-on-one type conversationalist to me. But on the flip side of that, I wish Siri would do some of the things that Google Assistant does, in being to where I can talk to Siri and still continue on with a conversation that it understands the context of what I'm asking. Like if I ask a question and say, how old is Michael Jordan? Well, Michael Jordan is so and so years old. What team did he play for? Well, he played for the Chicago Bulls and this year, and then he played for the Wizards and stuff like that. Siri doesn't do that yet. Siri doesn't understand that, hey, I'm still talking about Michael Jordan. I'm still talking about this subject. I want to know more about this subject. And there's things Siri does that in iOS 11. Now, Siri, from what I've noticed on Siri with iOS 11, I haven't noticed that as much. As far now, I've noticed if I've asked Siri something and then I've said, okay, well, what did he do, or something like that, it didn't pop up. But now, and I could be asking the wrong question too, and that's another thing with some of these assistants, is that you have to phrase the question just right. One of the things that I noticed with Google Assistant is that I would tell Google Assistant, since I have Hue lights in my house, since I had hue lights in my house, I asked Google Assistant, I said, turn on the light over the kitchen sink. So instead of Google turning on the light over the kitchen sink, she pulls up a YouTube video about how to turn the light on over the kitchen sink. I mean, really? But I asked Siri to turn the light on over the kitchen sink, and she turns it on. You know, another thing that I ran into is on Siri, I can tell Siri good night, and she'll turn off all the lights in the house and go into kind of like a nightlight mode on certain rooms in the house. Google, I tell it good night, and Google's like, yeah, man, good night, good night. And that's it. The lights stay on in the house. So there's things that I'd like to see Google improve on, that to make their assistant better, more robust. And there's things that I would like to see Siri improve on, that Apple can make Siri more robust and more useful. The other thing, let's see, what else am I looking forward to? Let's see. I'm hoping they'll come out with a new Google Chromecast that actually has a remote. I think that would be cool to actually have a remote. I seen Amazon released. Was it Amazon? No. Okay, wait a minute. Amazon did release a new streaming player, and Roku announced new streaming players. So all you guys that use Rokus, here's some great news. The new streaming boxes from Roku have the remotes that will control your TV built into Roku's remote. That's one of the things that I really liked about my Apple TV Gen 4, is that the little remote controls the TVs in the house, so I don't have to have two remotes. I can turn it on and turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn the volume up, turn the volume down, which is something I was greatly appreciative of, because I don't want to have two remotes when I'm trying to control my TV. And like I said, Amazon come out with a new streaming stick. It's a triangle looking little black box thing that hangs from the back of your TV. It will do 4K. So that's always good to have new streaming boxes. But if you're using Roku, you need to pick up one of the newer ones that came out, so that way you don't have to worry about having to have two remotes anymore, and you don't have to worry about having to program the remote. It automatically picks up the code that matches your TV, which is a bonus. Way to go, Roku. Roku also introduced a new user interface with their software, so you don't have to worry about dealing with the same old. They made it faster, made search a lot easier with Roku, and I do believe on the Roku 4, the voice search is being improved. Not as far as Alexa or Google or Siri, but nonetheless, it's still improved to where you can pull up your shows a little bit faster and stuff like that, which is always awesome. So, now, that being said, with the holidays coming up, if you need some items for Christmas, very inexpensive items, there is good tech out there. Like I said, I showcased about 3 of them here on my channel just a while ago. Did a little review for them. That is very, very good quality. That's going to be used a lot, that people can use in everyday things. And like I said, also talking about, Google release that's coming up. It's kind of like the pinnacle of phone season, I guess you could say, because after the Google Pixel 2 release, we'll kind of go into a slumber. There's not really going to be a whole lot coming out after that. Of course, we're going to have the OnePlus 5T or whatever they're calling it. Of course, it's going to have a better processor, probably more RAM. And you know what? Talking about the OnePlus, I'm curious if they're going to put wireless charging in their phone. If they put wireless charging in their phone, then that's going to kind of be a game changer for OnePlus, because OnePlus is kind of known as the budget kill. I mean, the flagship killer at a budget price. That you get the most bang for your buck and stuff like that. Now, dash charging on OnePlus is I've seen the videos and wow. And now the iPhone will do fast charging, but not like OnePlus. But I will be curious to see if, hey, Holiday, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. I will be curious to see if OnePlus does put wireless charging in their new 5T. Pardon me. In their new 5T that's coming out. So I'm kind of curious. Of course, HTC is supposed to be launching a new XL version of the U11. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what that's all about. I'm sure it's going to have a faster processor, probably has some upgraded RAM and stuff with the HTC software on top of it. But it's just, to me, it's just a curious time to be a phone enthusiast, especially seeing as to how we have Android that came out with wireless charging, that came out with water resistance, that came out with better cameras, better screens and stuff like that. And here it is, 2017, and Apple got wireless charging. It's getting an OLED panel on the iPhone 10. It's got dual speakers, which a lot of other phone manufacturers have had. So it's got dual speakers. Let's see and it's got fast charging, which Android phones have had for a very, very long time. Yeah, exactly, Holiday. Apple's finally catching up, and which is ironic to me. And what's also ironic to me, of course, talking about tech, is the fact that some of the displays on the iPhone 8, and I'm going to get mine checked out this weekend, is got a bubble in between the display and the chassis, where if the bubble gets bad enough, it can actually cause separation between the screen and the phone. If you go to YouTube/LockerGnome, youtube.com/LockerGnome, the guy's name is Chris Pirillo. He probably has no clue who I am, but that's okay. If you go and watch his, he actually had it on his where he had an air bubble in between the display and the phone, and he couldn't get it out of there. And I actually got a little bitty tiny one on mine, and I'm gonna have mine checked out by the folks at Apple just to make sure that, hey, it's okay, or hey, you know what, we'll go ahead and replace it, or whatever. Which is it's not that big of a deal if they had to replace my phone. It's just the fact that I don't want to have to go through the whole setup process and get my watch logged in and everything like that. That's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's all right just to make sure, just to have that peace of mind that, hey, I paid a good amount of money for this, and I really don't want y'all to I really don't want it screwed up, so it's kind of got me worried a little bit, because if Apple's having these issues, and then last year we had the Note 7 fiasco, it's kind of troublesome, because it's like these phone manufacturers, they're rushing to hurry to get the product out, but they're skimping on their quality, on their quality control. And when you're spending this much amount of money, I would rather you push the release date back to make sure that, hey, you know what, your phone's going to be all right, it's going to be safe, it's going to be reliable, you're not going to have to worry about this. So, everything's good with it, and that's where I kind of feel that maybe some of the smaller manufacturers like OnePlus, like Alcatel, like the Axon, ZTE, stuff like that. I feel like maybe their quality may be a little bit better than what we're currently getting now. Yeah, that's exactly right, Holiday. They are rushing this. They're rushing this so that they can hurry up and get these items out to the consumer's hands so they can hurry up and start making money. But if you would just take your time, slow down, and make sure that your quality is right, make sure that your product is right, then we're we're not going to have to worry about having a phone explode, having this display come off, having displays that are put upside down on the phone, software glitches, uh, having having to send out updates to fix something that should have been fixed in the first place. You know, those things are what turns consumers off. Now, granted, a lot of these phones, just like with the Note 7, it wasn't every Note 7 that was having problems. Just like with the upside down screens, it wasn't every phone, every OnePlus phone that was having that problem with the upside down screens. It's not every iPhone that's having problems with the bubbles underneath the screen. It's not every Apple Watch that's having problems with there being separation uh, of the display from the chassis. So there's no matter the manufacturer, you're always gonna have problems out of it. There's always gonna be something, whether it's software or whether it's hardware. There's always gonna be something that you're gonna have a problem with. That's why on products that I buy, I make sure I get the extended warranty. Guys, I know the extended warranty costs a little bit. Holiday says one of Samsung's problem with the Note 7 was that they were lacking on quality because they were too confident. Um, yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is yes, they were confident that they had a great phone, but they should have been confident because the Note 7 was a really nice phone. It was rated one of the best Android phones when it was out. The problem though was that the battery that they were trying to shoehorn in the chassis, they really didn't use enough Q&A to uh, they really didn't use enough quality control and testing enough to make sure that they weren't going to have any problems out of the battery. Which they could have made the chassis a millimeter or two bigger, and that would have gave it plenty of room to breathe, gave it plenty of room to expand, and stuff like that. Because when it comes down to it, if you want to put a bigger battery on my phone and you got to make it a little bit thicker, I'm cool with it. Go ahead. If you're trying to put in a 4,000 milliamp battery in my iPhone 5, I mean, 4,000 milliamp battery in my iPhone 8 Plus, go for it. If you got to make it thicker, go for it. I'm good. I'm good. Just make sure it has wireless charging, and just make sure I can do some quick charging on it. Battery science is a delicate process. That it is. That it is. And that's what I'm saying. Um, it's not that Samsung was, overconfident. They had a right to be confident. But it's the fact that they were trying to put so much tech in this tiny, 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 tiny chassis that they didn't allow uh, for expansion. They didn't allow for heat dissipation. They didn't allow for any of these things that comes with the battery. And yes, Bixby were just, Samsung. I still think it was really bad PR for Samsung not to allow you to remap the Bixby button to where you could have it to do something that you needed or that you wanted, since Bixby was not ready. And honestly, it's still not ready because from some of the Bixby stuff that I've seen, Bixby is slow. Bixby is slow. Now, Bixby. I mean, let me make this statement. Bixby, I think, is not bad, but it's slow. Siri to me, when it launched, was better than Bixby. Now, Jason, any assistant, AI assistant that comes out is going to constantly be learning. But what I'm looking for in an assistant is when I ask it something, there's an immediate response. There's an immediate follow up right after that. Like if I say, "What's the weather today?" it automatically tells me what the weather is. It doesn't have to take time and think, unless there's not a internet connection. Then I can understand that, or it's a slow internet connection. Let's see. Companies are trying to compete with Siri. Google Home comes close. Actually, since Google Assistant was first, Siri was competing head to head with Google Assistant, and now I feel like that in some ways Siri's above Google Assistant, but in other ways I feel like Google Assistant trumps Siri, but they're still kind of neck and neck. Let's see. I don't know. Siri is terrible to me. It still hangs up on my watch on phone. Sometimes a 7-second lag and still comes back in error. Now, I don't use Siri as much on my watch, but that's because I have the very first Apple Watch. So yeah, Siri on my Apple Watch is a lot slower now since the updates and everything have come out. It's actually it's sped up a little bit, but not as fast as it is on my phone. When I access Siri on my phone, I get an immediate response, and especially if I have my earbuds in, I normally get an immediate response. Call my wife, what's the weather, read notifications, send a text message, check email, read email. There's several things that I can do. Where I think Samsung screwed up at is Samsung wanted to say, "Hey, we got this." Me too. That's what Samsung wanted to do. Samsung wanted to show that they too had a digital assistant. But where they screwed up at was that the digital assistant was not ready at launch. It was not. There was no way it was going to be ready at launch. So instead of giving people the choice to either use the Bixby button for Bixby or remap the button to be able to use it to where it'll trigger a Google Assistant, I think was a misstep on their part. I really, really do. Now, a buddy of mine bought the Samsung Galaxy S8, and I got to play around with it a little bit. And I gotta say, man, the phone is, let's see, Samsung wants their own version of everything, calendars, clocks, etc. Exactly, Jason. That's what I've been saying for a while now. Is that I feel like that Samsung's going to be dumping Android for Tizen. So Samsung's kind of getting their stuff out there so people will get used to it and prefer to use it over the Google app. So that way, when they launch Tizen, everybody will be used to it, and that's it. Because Samsung is a big brand. If Samsung wanted to launch their Android phones with Tizen, they're not going to have no problem with it, because but just like people buy Apple, people will buy Samsung just because it's Samsung. Which there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the brand you like, if that's the brand you trust, by all means, go for it. Now me, everything I have, Apple. That's what I'm used to. That's what I like. It doesn't mean that I can't use Android. It just means that I prefer not to use Android. There's a big difference. But like I said, Samsung should have been able to allow you, the consumer, to roadmap that Bixby button. Now, yes, Bixby's working, but from a lot of Samsung users, they really don't use Bixby all that much. They actually use Google Assistant more often than not instead of Bixby, which is understandable, especially if you're used to using it all the time. And like I said, that's just like with me. With me having a heavy accent, um, Siri, in my use, in the times that I've used it, Siri has been more used to me, has been able to recognize my voice, has been able to recognize what I'm saying and what I'm asking her to do than Google has. Now, granted, I am using this on a 3-year-old Motorola Nexus 6, but that being said, um, if I had a different Android phone or a newer Android phone, would it be different? I don't know. I don't know. Possibly it could be different. Of course, with the hardware, with the better mics, with the better uh, chips, with the better software and stuff. Yeah. It possibly could be Google Assistant. Could possibly be a whole lot better. The other thing that I kind of wish that you could do is what the Motorola X did back in 2014, 2013, where you could rename Google Assistant. You could call it Haley, or you could call it Jarvis, or whatever. You could actually say, "Hello, Jarvis. What's the weather like today?" And it would actually pop up and tell you what the weather's like. I think that's really really cool. Um, I wish you could do that with iOS with Siri, where I don't have to say Siri. I can just give her a nickname like I don't know, Robin Hood. Hey, Robin Hood, what's up? Or something like that. I think that would be really really cool that if you could personalize it, so that way it's it's more it's more to you, what you like, what you want, what you're searching for. But I don't know. Maybe Google's going to allow that with the Google Pixel that's coming out tomorrow. That's supposed to be released tomorrow. There's so much stuff that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing tomorrow, to see what all Google's going to announce, what all Google's going to be talking about, and what all you would be able to do to it. Yeah, Holiday. Yeah, it would be pretty cool if you could change the name of your Google Assistant, whether you're using Google Home or whether you're using it on your Android, or whether you're using it on your iPhone. I just think that's something that would be really really beneficial to everybody out there. So that way we're not all feeling like, oh, we're in the same. We got the same phone, we got the same assistant, everything's the same. We're just gonna live in this uh, cardboard box, because my cardboard box is the same as your cardboard box, and that's really not how I want to be. And that's one of the things that I like about Android, being able to customize Android with widgets, being able to customize with icon packs, with themes, stuff like that. I wish iOS would allow me to do a little bit of that. Um, and I wish that iOS, I can change the backgrounds, I can change the lock screen wallpaper and stuff like that, and I've done that. But there's a few more things, like I don't want to get down into the system like on Android and just tweak every little thing, but I wouldn't mind having like an icon pack. Like Apple says, okay, hey, look, here's these icon packs that you can change your phone to, or whatever. Uh, I think that would be really really cool, really really cool. What can LG do to improve on their phone division? We don't even know when the V30 will come out. Well, first of all, what LG needs to do to improve on their phone division is advertise. LG needs to build up hype. That's something that LG is not doing, and not doing very well. LG's not building up any hype for its products, and when the products do come out, they're they're not really pushing them all that much. What was that? The G5. The G5 come out that had the pullable bottom with Jason Statham, that was riding on the bulls and riding on a motorcycle and was dressed up like a woman and all like this. Okay, you're advertising your product, but the commercials didn't do your product any justice. I mean, okay, it's Jason Statham, but I mean, you wasn't really you wasn't really pushing your product. You really, really, really was not showing all the capabilities of your product. I think LG needs to think about their advertisement company who they're using. Um, I think LG really needs to hype up their product. Really, really focus on what their phone can do that other manufacturers are not doing. Samsung had a lot of press release with the Samsung Galaxy S3 and S4, making fun of Apple users, you know, and stuff like that, showing that hey, I can transfer a photo just by tapping them together, and sharing playlists just by tapping them together, and stuff like that. You know, I think LG needs to go that route. I think LG really needs to sell themselves, not just their phone, but sell themselves and say, look, we build phones that are different from everybody else. We build phones that uh, you can use for many, many years. We build phones that are always going to be able to be um, sturdy, and you know, do something like an archaeologist is digging, and all of a sudden he comes up on this old cell phone store, you know, and he comes up on the old cell phone store and he's going through there and he's trying to power on all these devices in there, and none of the devices, from the iPhone to the Samsung Galaxy to the Google Pixel to the Moto Z series, none of these phones will power on. None of them, except for the LG. The LG is the only phone that will power on. And when the LG powers on, it just starts showing all this history and videos, and the guys tapping around and going to videos and looking at stuff like that, you know. And that's what LG needs to do. To me, LG needs to advertise more. LG needs to sell themselves more. They do great on their TVs. I have an LG TV. It's a great TV, you know. But for their phones and stuff, they really do. They really need to sell themselves more. And the other thing that LG needs to do is quit coming up with these gimmicks. Look, make a phone that everybody likes, that has wireless charging, removable battery, expandable storage, water resistant, quick charge, and easy software. Not heavily skinned or anything like that. Quit with all the fancy tricks. Just make a good quality phone. That's all you got to do. Make a good quality phone. If you come out with those that I mentioned and throw in some dual speakers on that with your hi-fi DAC, and you advertise it very heavily, advertise it heavy, and make sure that you point out that none of these other manufacturers have either abandoned it or don't have that feature, your phone will sell. Your phone will sell, because word of mouth is the best advertisement. If you can advertise it and get it into people's hands, especially YouTubers, if you can get it into YouTubers' hands and let real YouTubers review it and say, look, man, this phone has got wireless charging, it's got removable battery, it's got quick charge, it's got hi-fi audio DAC, it's got dual speakers, and it's got what else was that? A good software, basically running dang near pure Android. It'll sell good. I mean, because that's what a lot of people are looking for. I mean, yeah, Android, you have choice, but if you do that and then you price it moderately, if you price that phone with all those features at like $600, it'll fly off the shelf. People will buy it. People will buy it, and then you can start saying, "Hey, we're going to come out with this," or "Hey, we're going to come out with this other brand," just like Samsung did. Okay, everybody started buying the S6. Everybody started buying the S5. Everybody started buying the S3. But then what did you do? You came out with the S6 Edge. Then you came out with the 7. Then you came out with the 7 Plus. Then you came out with the 7 Edge. Then you came out with the 7 Note Edge. Then you came out with the S8. Then you came out with the S8 Plus. Then you came out. So, I mean, you got choices, you know. Like, if you did LG V series, you know, you could do the LG V series instead of 30 or whatever. You could just say, okay, this is the V1. Okay, this is the LG series V1. Okay, this is the small one that's got like a 4.8-inch screen or something, you know, some small screen, 5.5-inch, whatever. Then you got that LG V2 that's got the bigger screen, that's got like the 5.8, the 6.0 screen that has all the features, but it's a bigger screen, bigger battery, better AMOLED technology, really showing off your displays. Then you say, okay, now we got the LG V series, Stylo, LG V Stylo series, you know, or LG V series Stylus edition or whatever. 6.2 inch screen, quad HD, 18:9 aspect ratio, built-in pen, quality pen. Still got the same removable battery, built-in wireless charging, built-in quick charging, hi-fi audio DAC, running stock Android. You know, yeah, exactly, and that's what LG needs to do. Just like Samsung and Apple, the way Samsung and Apple advertise their product, they make you want to buy their product because you're like, man, that's a really nice product. I'd really like to have that. You know, LG, you go into the store and you're like, hey, what's that? Oh, well, that's an LG. Oh, I haven't seen nothing from them lately because you haven't seen a commercial from them. You know, you know, and for companies that want you to buy something, they have to sell themselves. They have to convince you, the consumer, that their product beats every other product out there. You know. Oh, for us nerds, the V30 is strictly for us nerds, and that's fine if you want to cater. If you want to cater like that. But here's the thing, you know, just like you're saying, it's not for the average consumer, but you have to have something there for the average consumer. You know, you can't say, okay, well, we're going to cater to the hardcore crowd, but we're not going to give anything to the average consumer. And you say, okay, well, who's done that? Case in point, the Wii. Look at what the Wii did. Okay, if we take the Nintendo Wii, what did the Nintendo Wii do? The Nintendo Wii said, well, we're going to cater to casual gamers. So the Wii come out, Wii flew off the shelves like hotcakes, right? Because everybody and their grandmother was getting a Wii because you had the Fit board, you had this, you had that, exercise, nursing homes was using it, you know, stuff like that. You had all that, right? So when it came down to games, when it came down to things that people wanted to play, you didn't have the Halos, you didn't have the Call of Duties, you didn't have the Destiny, you didn't have the Street Fighters, the stuff like that. You had Mario. Okay, so if you're wanting to cater, you can't have a product that caters to one set of people and alienates the other. You need to have two. And that's what Samsung was really smart about, okay? Samsung said, okay, well, for you people that are not a Note series fan but want the size of the Note, we have the S8 Plus. For those of you who just like the Galaxy series, well, we got the regular Galaxy S8. But here we have the Galaxy Note 8 for all of you that really like using the S Pen and the functionality and stuff like that. What Samsung did was really cover all their bases, you know, to where it's kind of like Goldilocks. You know, there was something for there was something for Papa Bear, there was something for Mama Bear, and there was something for Baby Bear. You know, it didn't just cater to Goldilocks. There was something for each and every one of them. The Note 8 is for Papa Bear. The Note The S8 Plus is for Mama Bear, and the regular S8 is for those who didn't like it. Exactly, LG G6 and G6 Plus, exactly. But in my opinion, and that's what this is, in my opinion, LG needs to really sell itself. LG really needs to sell us on the fact that we have to have their product, that we really need their product. And I feel like LG's just really falling short in that department because they're getting steamrolled by Apple and Samsung, and they're probably going to get steamrolled pretty good by the Google Pixel. Depending on what Google announces, how they announce it, and what features are coming out with the Google Pixel, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a really, really interesting day tomorrow. Well, guys, that's going to do it for me on this stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. I want to thank Jason Gill. I want to thank Holiday KB. I want to thank Phone Tech at Work. I want to thank Forbes Tech Reviews. I want to thank Easy from Easy Computer Solutions. I want to thank everybody that's come in and made this. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I want to thank everybody that stopped by the stream and has come by and supported me. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jason. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And please, by all means, check out the Team 100 stream chat on YouTube. Check out Phone Tech at Work. Check out Forbes Tech Reviews. Check out Easy Computer Solutions. Check out Chris Locker Gnome on YouTube.com. There's a bunch YouTubers out there that are really, really good, a lot better than I. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much. I pray that you all have a great night and have a great day at work tomorrow. As always, it's your boy Sub-Zero J Ray saying, please hit that like button.